There's no comp you feel amazing into as Draven, right? You're just supposed to be extremely fed.
Yeah.
And this is a very strong bot lane, 2v2, that Ground Zero have to survive. If there's someone who's going to do it, it is this Ground Zero bot lane. We usually see them be the aggressors. Let's see how they do in a lane where they kind of just have to get by.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see the jungle path. I think ultimately both junglers should be pathing bot for differing reasons, right? Lalva should be pathing bot to try and push the issue, look for a dive if Surenfire is not there to match, but Surenfire should be pathing there to be able to match, to make sure Lemus is able to pick up that CS and not be under any real threat of getting dove.
Yep. Going to be difficult to shut down this Draven early in the game as well, having to take exhaust on Karak. I think that is the correct decision against Kennen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I don't understand why we so often see the Ignite.
Yeah.
And
sometimes people will play Alistar and convince themselves you can headbutt the Kennen away, but...
there's always at least 1 or 2 fights in a game where you can't.
Yeah, where you just wish you had exhaust. This is Chi-Chi doing the Draven thing where he gets an axe going off of a buff so that he can have double axes when he gets to lane. They are behind Ground Zero's bot lane.
Yeah, and this time... Lemus, I mean, they identified it well against Sengoku about this exact thing basically happening. This time, though, he is Jhin, so he's not able to push that wave in like he was on the Zeri, and so now the wave is just in a bit of a rough position. They have the melee support up against the Renata, and obviously the Draven level 1 comparative to the Jhin is no real comparison.
Yeah, Jin's not even a slouch at level 1, but Draven is such a ridiculous champion at this point.
Yeah, and I mean, you see here, crash down,
nice
gonna go
moves.
wide here. But luckily, there's no handshake available, so he's not under any real kill threat, but still taking a sizable chunk of damage.
Yep, chunking out Karak as Sejuani is pathing down here, and Surenfire is pathing away, so this could get very scary, especially if Karak takes any more damage. Rel will be the target in these dives, likely. Doesn't have cleanse. Makes it just that much easier to go on the support.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Lalva still ways away. It looks like this wave is most likely going to crash. Maybe it's going to be sitting just outside the tower.
It's a crash.
Yeah, and Lalva not going to be here, but...
Yeah, and this Draven loves these lane states, even if the wave is crashing, and you just get to get these autos off. And whereas on other AD carries, it maybe doesn't feel so good to get, 1 or 2 autos off under the turret. Draven has so much flat AD.
Yeah, and the movement speed, importantly, means that he's able to get back out of it before a tower actually hits him in return. Now, here comes the dive. Lalva's here. There's no way out for the side of Ground Zero, but there goes the Guardian. That's an important cooldown now. Going to be extended. Here comes the Arctic Assault. Everything coming through. A fantastic flash from Lalva. It's Lemus. He's going to survive. 1 HP. They really would love this kill onto Chi-Chi, but they're not going to be able to find it. Chi-Chi's just sending it. Oh, he's got the revive. The revive passive, it comes through. Is he able to get there? No, he's not. And it's first blood and a double kill for the bot lane of Ground Zero.
Oh my goodness. And Lemus is laughing as he should be. They have just completely clowned on the bot lane and jungle of J-Team. Abysmally played by J-Team's bot lane. Crack not even having to flash there. What a disaster.
That is 5 summoners taken away from J-Team. It's 2 kills given to Ground Zero. And we've seen what Lemus can do from this position. I mean, take us away with this replay.
Yeah, I mean, initially the barrier is, the Guardian, is procced right away. They get a good go onto Lemus. Chi-Chi has to flash. Karak does such a good job with that W to force Chi-Chi to flash to the left while Lemus is going to the right. Lemus focuses down this wave and then outruns the Draven. Karak played this dive immaculately. And this is kind of why I expected the dive to be onto the support rather than the ADC. Rel can just do so much to disrupt the dive, as well as Jhin having the cleanse as an extra defensive tool that wouldn't help out his support if Karak was the focus in that play. J-Team punished for getting greedy and going for the Jhin on that play, I think.
And it's now Ground Zero once again, game number 1. Find themselves at a very sizable advantage. That bot lane. Lemus, he picks up a very early plated steel caps. Usually you would see the Swifty boots, but you're against Draven this time as Karak going aggressive on the bot side. Chi-Chi, no flash, no cleanse. He is just going to be taken out. Great identification here from Surenfire to see the weakness in their bot lane and punish it.
Yeah, once again, history repeating itself. It is just, game 1 is a complete blowout through bot lane. This is exactly what happened the last time these two teams faced off against each other, and I mean, you don't want to call it too soon, but this one is just already looking pretty over to me. I don't know how Draven... Surenfire in trouble.
Yeah, Permafrost. He has flash available to himself. Arctic Assault not there for Lalva, but Surenfire does get himself away. Loses his flash for it as J-Team, they're going to get a very early Dragon on the board here, potentially.
Yeah, that feels good. If you are J-Team, though Shrimpfire is hanging around. Here's an engage onto Lakai.
Okay, Lakai is able to survive. He still does have access to teleport, so he's not going to really feel the heat too much. Should be able to be okay up there. Maybe lose a couple of minions, but ultimately should be fine. Kurik here, though.
Yeah, Kurik is here. This is Lakai on very low HP. Ultis the wave.
Oh, nice flash, and maybe we're seeing a return of events. Kurik trying to find something. 10. He's going to go. Oh my god. He survives. Can anything be found? Oh my god, 10. You see him in the player cam. He is excited, and I would be too.
Yeah, I mean, they're running away with this first game. They're winning everywhere. Fido doing fine in the mid lane. Chi-Chi will win this trade against Limus. Draven's still very strong.
Oh god.
Yeah, Fido's struggling. No TP. Has been heavily out-traded by Minji. I'm not sure what happened. Minji recalled for a tier and then came back and destroyed the solution.
Yeah, maybe glimmers of hope if you're a J-Team fan, but Ground Zero so far, I mean, the entirety of Oceania now behind this team. If you had separation between Ground Zero and Bliss, you certainly don't anymore.
And yet this has kind of been the story for J-Team in the playoffs. It is just Minji. We are hoping Minji can carry us across the line, and his team has not made it easy for himself. Fido fighting for his life to get the CS under the tower.
Was able to do so, however, and so should be okay. Now, one thing to consider, of course, in team compositions like this is the Renata. Now, the Renata is a very strong early laner, kind of falls off in the mid game, but is also a very strong late game team fighter. Now, Shrimpfire once again looking for a dive, dodged out of their bowling ball. Will Lakai, he gets a stun though onto Shrimpfire, no flash available! 1 HP, trying to find a kill here as Tien, but there's certainly nothing to look for. Lakai has to be careful still under this tower. Well played by him to have survived at all, let alone find so much damage back.
Yeah, I mean, Lakai's lane is still just doomed off of that gank. Shrimpfire does have to blow his ulti, but this is so difficult for the cannon. Any QE landing from this Aurora now is an insta-kill with his electric queued up.
Yeah, so far.
Let's see if Lakai looks like he's going to stay and try outplay. No, he backs off. He is only giving up 3 creeps here, so can pretty safely recall.
Yeah, not too detrimental.
Yeah, a lot committed by Shrimpfire. Gets chunked out, has to recall, loses his ulti.
Now, is going to be able to get back to that bot side, only losing the Raptors for that attempted gank, so he's not going to feel too bad.
Yeah, I will say that was pretty poorly played by Shrimpfire. I think that was 100% a kill, if he's not stunned under the tower there.
Yeah.
Limus hits 6 now, but starts his recall up. And this is going to free Enso to roam around the map a bit. He's up a lot of tempo on the enemy bot lane. Chi-Chi going to just be free farming down here.
Also has those early boots too, so we'll be able to move faster. Fido, though, he gets caught out. He's looking for a ward. Caught lacking. Flash available for Minji. Flash available for Lava, and Minji claims himself a kill. We said it always has to be this guy. This guy is the most consistent. He's the most likely to carry, and he gets himself a kill to get that direction going. Yeah, that's exactly who you want the kill on. You need it on Minji. We'll see if he can carry. Fido looking a bit frustrated there, as you saw, even up against, I think it was DFM? No, it was SG. Lots of flashes committed to killing this guy in the mid lane. I don't know what it is about Fido. His ulti onto Lakai. Yeah, correct here, but Lakai trying to turn around. There comes the exhaust. Nothing can be done here for this Kennen. He doesn't have sums. He's going to get stunned up by that Magnet Storm. Trying to get to his jungler here. Lava is actually going to arrive and maybe can survive the gank. No, absolutely not. And now it's going to be Lava who's in trouble. He commits way too much to saving his top lane. And with Shrimpfire up here, with Kurik up here, it's just going to be a clean kill. Yeah, overcommitting to the weak side there is Lava. Not able to help, and I thought it would be Enso with all the tempo, but somehow Kurik is in the top lane with his ulti, level 6 already, and just gets a kill. So easy to set these plays up with the Aurora ultimate. Ridiculous engage range, now half this tower gone. And yeah, I mean, at this time it looks like it was J-Team who thought they had an answer to the Aurora. Maybe they just thought Ground Zero don't play it, because it's only been a couple of days since the last time around. Yeah. And Ground Zero definitely couldn't play it. Yeah, we saw that from the blue side bans, but now picking it up has Tien, and he's looking Bloody good at it. Malignant's now in inventory is correct, going aggressive. Enzo has to be very careful here. Is going to have to use that hostile takeover. How good is it, though? It's going to miss everyone. Curtain Call not going to land on their fourth shot, but the flash forward is going to be good. As still so much damage being returned, but Chi-Chi is not going to be enough as Schönfire claims himself a third. He's 3-0 now on this Lilia and looking fantastic here in game number 1.
Once you're behind on these range supports, you should never be losing so early in these lanes with a range support. And you see what happens when you do fall behind. They can just run at you, and your ADC is too behind to return any damage. Especially with a champion like Renata, who needs her ADC to be scary so she can actually get value out of her W.
Now it is J-Team with tempo, though. The recall's coming through, and Schönfire yet to recall. Lost his flash, lost his ultimate. They're looking for a second dragon, and maybe a pathway into this game. It's certainly going to delay the game enough for some items to come online.
Yeah, and J-Team are really good at finding these dragons. They actually, pre-15 minutes, average 1.5 dragons. And they haven't had a super winning record or anything, so a dragon and a half every game is pretty good. This game, 2 dragons before 15 minutes, feels good with how abysmally their bot lane is going.
Yeah, not having a winning record is one way of saying they often lose. As Fido being looked at again, actually going to be able to dodge out. They're off that Glacial Prison, but not able to dodge out of the auto attacks as Lalva does claim himself a kill. That's another on the board now for J-Team, and it's Fido again falling down.
Yeah, feeling frustrated again is Fido needs to just rein it in a bit. His entire team is winning. Actually, Dian is dead.
Oh, yeah, something's happened up top lane. Tien dead. Handshake connects max range.
No ulti, though, on Lava.
But Lalva, importantly, does manage to get one of those grubs, so it's not going to be the 2 Void Mites every single time a tower is hit here by Ground Zero.
Yeah, it does feel like a drop in the ocean. Let's see what happens to Thien. Does he just get flashed on by this cannon?
Oh, he pops the ult first. Oh, no!
Oh, Jesus, man.
Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, that is not how you want to use the Aurora ulti to suicide. Gets the thumbs up from Lava, is appreciating that kill, gets him up to his rocket belt. Yeah, a little bit of goofiness from Ground Zero, but still in a commanding position whenever the enemy team has a 0-2-0 Draven.
Yeah, and ultimately a 3-0-1 Lilia on their side. Feels pretty good and bodes well for this game, but still, they are down the 2 dragons. It's an Air Soul, so not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination, but a really nice ult to have on the likes of Kennen especially.
Yep. Probably a little bit stressful. If you're Ground Zero, the nerves I don't think will affect them too much. They are champions in their region, lest we forget. So familiar with these high pressure situations. Now we're going to see Schönfire with a pretty massive CS lead, as you expect. 3 kills on him. Kind of the onus is on Schönfire to carry this game.
Yeah. I mean, Lima's certainly very strong. Lima's... Yeah, it's going to be a little bit dodgy. Minji's here first. Enzo's found his way here. Handshake connects. He's going to get a stun as well. As Schönfire trying to run. He does have that passive movement speed helping him out a lot as he will go wide on that bowling ball. Yeah,
Lava's ulti has only just come up. Would have loved to throw it at Schönfire.
Getting aggressive here, Minji and Fido both not coming. Hostile takeover and a teleport coming through. This is going to be Tien coming up. He does have that ultimate available to himself as the Magnet Storm's fantastic. Through comes that ultimate. Chi-Chi trying to find the damage. He's going to find Kura. I guess he will, but it's actually going to be Enzo who takes the kill. Lakai's here, though, as Tien getting very aggressive under that tower. Curtain Call. 4th shot will connect, but Chi-Chi not going to be low enough to be executed. Now it's these top laner and the AD carry trying to defend at this bot lane. Tien finds a massive chunk onto Lakai, and even bigger once he pulls that Q back. Schönfire bowling ball does not connect. His sidestep's fantastic. The flash from Tien goes wide. And the Ground Zero bot lane. Chi-Chi will survive. Lakai will survive, but it's a massive win in first tower to the side of Ground Zero.
Yeah, always feels good when you can grab that first tower. Fido manages to hold on to his tower for long enough. It was going down very quickly as he's found himself 20 CS down to Minji. A lot of attention paid to him, but he was already struggling in the 1v1.
Look, I'll tell you, mate, I've watched Fido now for a couple of series, and this is his comfort zone.
Yeah, true. He does end up just fed in these games somehow. But we saw it before, I think, on Corgi, where he started 0-3 and ended up doing the most damage in a game.
Yep.
So not easily tiltable is Fido. The J-Team starting up the Rift Herald, so objectives not going terribly for J-Team, but the gold is disastrous.
Yeah, and I think a massive, massive success for Ground Zero in that Chi-Chi didn't get the kill under that tower, because yes, he's died twice, but he's already got a few stacks in his back pocket now, I'd say. And
Yeah.
it was Enzo who claimed the kill credit there, so gonna miss out on those Draven stacks, since that's so much gold that is missing there for that 80 carry of J-Team. Correct, getting aggressive, will land the stun, but...
Yeah, Lava should be fine. Draven did get buffed so that he would only lose half his stacks rather than 75% when he dies, but I mean, it doesn't make you feel much better if you're Chi-Chi in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, he died at the very start of the game a couple times, right? So he's had a lot of time to stack up.
Yeah.
So he should be sitting on a few. Once we hover over his player portrait, I'll keep an eye on that. But
yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he can get maybe back into this game. It is, I guess it can work as a catch-up mechanic. You don't think of it that way. Fido, speaking of catching up, is going to get some much-needed gold for taking out this tower.
Yep, second tower of the game in favor of Ground Zero, as they are extending this lead now to 5k in their advantage, of course. As Correct getting aggressive, but it's cancelled. Nice action assault from Lalva. Here comes the ult from DN, but it's only got Lalva in there. A stun from him onto Lemus, who isn't going to have to use any cleanse or anything like that. Sleep as well does land onto Enzo as Chi-Chi trying to find the damage, but he's not going to be able to do so. Couldn't call one, couldn't call two, and now we need to block this up. Lakai going to hit that fourth shot. TN still trying to look aggressive, trying to find something. Not yet able to, but importantly, Chi-Chi will survive, and Lakai with just enough HP, really, to be able to defend this tower. Minji, in the meanwhile, though, he's up top side. He probably claims himself a tower.
Yeah, it'll take him at least one more wave to get this tower, though. And Fido is on his way, so maybe he can defend this, actually. Should be quite strong on the Lucian with the Blade versus the Triforce.
I'm amazed that no one in J-Team died just there, as Lakai going aggressive will just land that Shuriken and run away, but Shunfire takes himself a Dragon. Gonna stop that stacking now for J-Team.
Yeah, Fido actually just unwilling to walk up on this Corki at all. Sees his team taking the Dragon, and will let them just do so. Can just be a passenger of this game if he wants to, Fido. His team are probably just strong enough to get him across the line as long as he's...
All speed up, a lot of movement speed here. And the bowling ball will land. Handshake's nice from Enzo, though. Lalva no ultimately, as Shurnfire is just so fast. Minji's here, but Tien's going to find his way onto this bot lane. Chi-Chi is going to have to flash away. It's a nice hostile takeover, but Enzo's got to be left to the wolves. Will go down. Fido claims that one for himself as he runs on out of there.
Yep, and it feels like every 30 seconds this Aurora can ulti and blow someone's flash. Previously it was Enzo's flash, and this time he goes down without it. Chi-Chi this time loses his flash. He's probably next up. We see why this Aurora champion is so strong. Once it gets out of the lane, looked pretty good in the lane, but once out of the lane, it just makes the game borderline unplayable for these immobile champs on the side of J-Team. Yeah,
absolutely, and still, we are sitting at about a 5k gold lead, so nothing much has changed there, but still, at least it's not going in the opposite direction.
Recognizes he's in danger there, does Fido. And speaking of this gold lead, Ground Zero have lost only one game. Only one game when they have a gold lead at 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So they are very good with these leads, as you would expect them to be. First seed coming out of the LCO.
Yeah, did I suggest had a lot of practice with leads?
Yeah. Yeah, should be.
Now, it's a bit of a slower pace for a little bit, but still, I mean, honestly, you're so scared of this Lilia. It's only the Leandries and a Seeker's Arm Guard, but it feels like Shurnfire is just so unkillable. He's 2 levels up on his counterpart and just so fast, able to get anywhere he wants, whenever he wants.
Yeah, Karak also kind of just can walk around however he wants. His teammates are so strong, and he's so tanky because these carries are behind on the side of J-Team. Minji's got some gold coming his way this game, CSing very well. Lakai's going to look for a play on
might be able to. See what happens. He's actually instead going to choose to recall. Not sure exactly where Shurnfire is.
Yeah, wait for him to open the shop.
All right. 10. He's not going to be caught lacking that badly. Does get on out of there.
Has the Merc Treads and a Kindle Gem. A lot of escapes as well on this champion.
Yeah, there's a Cosmic Drive.
Oh, Minji setting up on Fido here. Has Enzo by him. But this should be very obvious for Fido that this Rana is not alone.
Fido's just used every ability. I'm surprised that Minji's not pulling the trigger.
Yeah, on both sides now, J-Team maybe have opportunities to go on these solo laners, but decide to not pull the trigger. Lava just gonna meekly drop this Rift Herald mid.
Yeah, it shouldn't be able to be stopped. Although, It is.
Yeah, it's just not going to charge.
That is depressing.
Yeah, that doesn't feel great.
Ultimately, I mean, it's probably about to expire anyway, but still may have wanted it to be a few pixels further there, closer to that tower. Anyway, it is a good job by Surenfire to be there to stop it, to make sure it isn't able to crash. And
IE picked up for this Jhin now, looking very strong. And these Jhin ults look so much more impactful when you've got an Aurora ulti to set them up. Just as well as the Rel becomes so much easier to play when you've got this 2-screen wide engage on the Aurora. Just whoever's caught in the Aurora ulti, go chuck your Rel spells at them. Throw a Jhin ulti, maybe some Lilia spells, and these fights just feel so easy for Ground Zero to play as they're setting up around the Baron.
Yeah, and no answer on the side of J-Team to all of this sort of vision control around the top side in the jungle, on their red side jungle. It's very difficult for them to deal with, and ultimately the Baron will go down extremely fast despite having a Jhin with that Lilia, with that Lucian, and the Aurora if she does choose to be there.
Yeah. I mean, the Sejuani is very tanky to face check these bushes, but she doesn't have Warmog's finish yet. So a chunk on lava could just be the cue for Ground Zero to start a Baron.
It is. You have to be worried, though, around this Baron pit and whatnot, just of the Renata ult, right? The Renata ult can completely take over a team fight. Kennen, it's very close to having his Shadow Flame, which, again, the amount of damage that he can put out on this Kennen if he finds the right environment should be immense. Lakai, though, he's wise to the fact Surenfire's around. He's going to have to use that protobelt. Nice.
Yeah, could have gone down there, definitely, even just to the Lilia, but Aurora was behind him. Fido, ulti to maybe deter Minji from chasing him and chunking him out. And that is going to be okay, not all that impactful. This is not Fido's game to carry. He has been focused a lot this game by the enemy team after having a rough start to his lane.
Yeah, was able to recall, pick up a second item. At the same time, Lakai on the side of J-Team just did the same. But still, power spike certainly in favor of Ground Zero. Having that Jhin with that 2 items versus the Draven, who is sitting on a limp Bloodthirster and then just a couple of components.
Yeah, this early Dragon priority on the side of J-Team has afforded them a lot of time to try find a way back into this game. And I am talking about how good the Aurora engage is and how good the Rel follow-up is. But generally, you have to be very careful engaging into Renata, especially with a double ADC comp. Even Aurora doing plenty of damage with her autos. So there is still some execution for Ground Zero. It's not going to be a walk in the park to close this one out.
Absolutely not. And J-Team in there doing a pretty good job at just not bleeding too much. Yes, the gold lead has extended by 1k, but ultimately, you know, these sort of games can blow open a whole lot faster than this one has. Still, Ground Zero very firmly in control of this one as they continue to get that top lane priority, get that vision control, and now they can pretty much start this Baron whenever they want if they find a good angle. Yeah,
and being so far ahead, Ground Zero, and playing around this Baron, their vision being so good, means that Lava has just spent the last 3.5 minutes of this game sitting here by his red buff, not farming at all, and Surenfire has extended the CS lead massively.
Fido maybe accidentally hitting the Baron there and copping a little bit of damage. That's the blue orb now gone, and we don't have any more vision, and
they're on
Ground Zero realizing that are walking up, are starting it. Lava's going to spot it out. They know what's going on now. Red ward in the pit. Lava, I mean, he might just look for a steal. They might just be looking for a team fight. There's no really good teleport, but Tien finds his way in. He finds a fantastic ult. He's bouncing forward and back. Put the cash in from Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi manages to get that cash in. And now J-Team, Lakai finds a 1. He finds 2. Lemus is going to go down. It's a shutdown. Chi-Chi finds one for himself too. Fido gets taken out as Minji goes crazy. And Tien, it looked like he'd sealed the deal, but maybe getting a bit too fancy for his boots. It's J-Team who come up trumps.
I have no idea how that happened. I think they've just over-engaged into the Renata ulti. I'll have to see the replay. The ulti from the Aurora looked really good, and I thought the game was just over on the spot there, but J-Team are just completely back in this game now. Chi-Chi picks up a massive cash out. I didn't see how much he got for it, but we'll find out soon when he gets this recall off Baron for J-Team out of nowhere. And the game is anyone's game now.
Oh my god, what did I just witness? I can't wait to see this replay.
It has to be the Renata ulti. So Enso, Chi-Chi, and Lava get caught in this nice flank from Tien. It's about all you needed, but Enso gets the ulti off before he goes down and just really slows this engage. But it's actually just Lakai who kind of turns the fight around. I don't understand how. I watched this fight and I still don't understand how it went so poorly.
Well, Lakai, I mean,
for Ground Zero.
I think the problem was, and I mean, this is what I observed, is that Tien found a fantastic engage, right? He found those 3 key people in that ult, but then nothing happened. They just sat in that ult.
Well, the Renata ulti does slow them down. I thought they did a lot of damage to each other, but they didn't really. Yeah,
right. But also, Tien was just not doing anything. I don't know if it's just nerves or what it may be, but he was just bouncing back and forward, not actually hitting any abilities on anyone. And so they were just in this ult completely untouched. As Tien looking again, Chi-Chi might be found. He has Flash and he has Cleanse, and he's not even phased. He's just standing there, taking it up. Curtain Call coming out. Minji, he gets hit by 1. Here comes the culling. Chi-Chi, though, he stops it. He's trying to find the damage. Minji's going to get shut down. That's 2 kills. Both the carries picking them up here. That's a fantastic handshake from Enzo. Maybe saving the remainder of his team. Lakai hiding out, biding time, trying to find him, slicing Maelstrom, but not going to need it. Ultimately, though, these 2 carries do go down. That's the engage we want. Tien, that time, finding value. Lalva with a max-range Arctic Assault to make sure he is not taken out. But this Baron buffs, there's going to be no push. It's actually Ground Zero who are going to have that Baron buffs power play in their favor.
Yeah, the game immediately thrown back by J-Team. Lava doesn't block any of the Jin shots for his Corki, who's right in front of him. And Ground Zero are actually going to pick up a tier 2 while the enemy team have Baron. And you just see the power of the Aurora. Theon was so disruptive in that fight. He dodges the Sejuani ulti as well while he's in invis. And the team fight just falls apart for J-Team. They get sent scrambling. And Aurora ult is back up.
Yeah, Aurora ult certainly is. We don't have the Lufting Lullaby, though. And ultimately, J-Team, they have their key ultimates. This Dragon, 30 seconds from being up. Slicing Maelstrom. Gonna be something to look out for, right? This exhaust, can Kurak find it at the right time? Can Lakai find his time to get in?
No flash on Lakai, but he is level 16. This is a massive cannon. Finishes up his Crypt Bloom.
Yeah, 3-item cannon now. We'll see if maybe we can set up a teleport flank. I mean, ultimately, this cannon has to find his way into the back line. We saw what happens when he can. It was through flash, and he doesn't have that now.
Chi-Chi completely caught up into this game. Is still a little bit behind the Jin. About half an item, but is going to be doing relevant damage on the Draven now.
J-Team first the Dragon. They're going to be able to pick it up, but look at those levels. It's actually XP. Very, very well in favor for J-Team. Minji, as well as Lakai, just having a great time, but picking up that side lane XP, picking up that gold. Now, Ground Zero, they are looking for this top side play. They're trying to find their way onto this tower, but recalls have come through. There is no more Baron. Those members that did have it no longer will. Cleanse out Alemus now, and Kurak, he's in a bad position. He's going to be taken out. Who gets the kill? It is Lakai. Crypt Bloom heal comes through Eva.
Yeah, Kurak maybe thinking J-Team are on Dragon for a little longer than they were. Overstays and gets caught there. Minji is forcing the TP now out of Theon.
Yeah, I mean, still, that's Kurak's exhaust gone. I think that's the key. You've taken down Kurak, that's one thing. You've got rid of the exhaust. Hold up, though. Yeah, Drowsy. What can we do? Curtain Call coming through, but Lakai's here and you've got no exhaust. Schönfire, one more proc away from getting caught up and getting stunned. Won't be able to, and the bowling ball comes through again. Ooh.
Schönfire is just unafraid. 1v3 fighting there. I guess he has the Jin ult to back him up, but recognizes how strong he is in this game. Just has a bunch of tanks and supports standing in front of him. Lakai hesitant to just commit his full ulti onto a Lilia with Zhonya is available. There's a Ground Zero setting up around the Baron again.
Yeah, minute 30 until that objective is spawned. Obviously, last fight was a bit of a disaster, and I think Ground Zero have to not fight. They have to wait until exhaust is up, wait till Kurak has access to that spell, because right now, it's Lakai who can take over entirely. He is the most likely to. He has Flash, he has Slicing Maelstrom, and there's nothing to really counter that.
Yeah, Lakai has his Flash up too.
Correct. Oh no, Lemus is going to flash away. He's got no cleanse, he's got no flash now. Kurak does get over that wall with that crash down, and Lalva being a bit hesitant to pull the trigger. Is Kurak going to lose his flash now too? That's now your bot lane for Ground Zero without summoners available. Now, importantly, Schönfire does. Yes, it's Zonya's. He could be the one to find a massive engage. A 5-man ult, something along those lines can turn the tides of sort of what this fight can look like.
Yeah, Schönfire going to be looking to use that ulti for as much impact as he can. It's going to suck that Kurak doesn't have his flash to follow up these Theon engages. It should still just be the Aurora engaging. Though, honestly, in the first game of the night, we saw Jimmy get a lot of value out of holding his Aurora spells a little deeper into the fight. So Lava goes on to Kurat.
Yeah, it takes a bit of damage. Has the Warmogs ultimately, though, so as long as he doesn't go down, should be okay. Nice side step. Minji gets hit by it, though. Shunfire doesn't actually have that active.
Look at Lakai.
Oh, yeah, Lakai trying to find something. He's on that bottom side.
On a flank. I think they did spot him on
No, they're
that
pinging the
ward.
Raptors. They don't know exactly where he is, but they know he's somewhere down there looking.
Yeah, otherwise he would just be on this wave in the bot lane. Usually you want to make sure you crash those waves so you don't miss too much CS. So a little bit obvious from Lakai, but they're running at this Baron.
Yeah, Baron spawning. Baron is up and available. Recall coming through here for Lemus. Has to be careful. I mean, J-Team's Baron is going to be fast as well.
Yeah, with the Draven and the Corki, always quick, but I think J-Team should not rush this Baron at all. They can put their opponents in a horrible spot if they wait for the Soul to come up. They are on Soul Point, Ground Zero or not. You can force Ground Zero to just be in a lose-lose situation where they either give up Soul or the Baron.
Certainly can. Now, I mean, pace of the game certainly slowing down. Everyone knows what's at stake. The entire tournament, your 2024 is at stake. For Ground Zero, maybe after seeing Bliss lose, even more pressure, right? Just to represent that region. Make everyone proud. Make sure they can come back and have their claim to fame. They bet a PCS team, right? Because still, it's Ground Zero who haven't yet managed to do it. They've shaped up well in this game. They're in a position they can do it. But I think it's just so hard to exactly work out how that happens, right? What does a team fight look like to make sure it's a win?
Yeah, I mean, you must be a little bit discouraged after Thien found that engage. What should have been a ridiculously good engage from the Aurora is the play that turned the game around for J-Team. So that has to be a little bit discouraging. And then Kurak, who is a rookie, without flash, maybe feeling a little lost.
Gets a stun onto Lava, but he turns around with that Arc Assault box. Everything, but here comes also Takeover. It hits very, very well, and Tien's getting run out. The Whirling Death not going to land, and the Curtain Call as well does slightly go wide. Now, importantly, Lakai is still sitting there with everything up. Lava no ultimate, and Chi-Chi no ultimate.
Where was Sternfire? Thien flashed in for that engage. Sternfire was nowhere near them.
Enso getting very, very aggressive, and Lemus takes off a quarter of his HP with a single Jhin auto attack. This bowling ball's going to go wide. Enso, no ultimate here, no hostile takeover. It's going to be so difficult to play this fight, and Tien's ult very close to being back up. That Malignant's doing
dragons,
crazy.
By the way, Soul.
Oh yeah, Soul's being done. You're right. Teleport available for Minji too. He can get back up here. Now, Enso, I mean, this seems like a losing fight for J-Team. Enso just, what can he do on this amount of health? Just give the revive passive to someone, I suppose. Tien, ultimate back available. Lava trying to make his way into the pit, but here comes that ultimate in the flash away. Lakai on the flank. Kurak marking him, and the Baron getting taken down. The Baron's so low, and the Baron, it's picked up. Shunfire does collect that one, but it's not without fault. There's a kill going over. Kurak now does not have that exhaust. There's no exhaust for the side of Ground Zero up against Lakai. Lakai needs to find his way in. He has the slicing Maelstrom, but who can follow up on it? No one at the moment. Now it's J-Team on Ground Zero side of the map, and it's Ground Zero on J-Team side of the map. Ground Zero, can they get away from this cannon? They're in a horrific position. It's going to take so much. His teleport coming through, but Phyto, he's challenging this Draven and won't win it. Draven life-stealing the flash from Lemus. They are going to get that kill. Lakai, where is he? Lakai is not here, and it's Ground Zero. Lemus and Shunfire getting it done.
Lakai was doing red buff. He was doing red buff. My cannon with flash and ulti was doing red buff. He actually ulted someone, so he must have gotten a flash out of some member of Ground Zero. And I thought Lakai played that fight really well, being patient, not flashing in too early before his team can follow up, but actually just ends up contributing nothing to the play. J-Team gets split up. Chi-Chi in that fight doing over 7,000 damage. The only member of his team doing anything in that fight. You still got the soul if you're J-Team. Cloud Soul feels amazing on Corki, Kennen, Sejuani. You do have to weather the storm up against this Baron now. You're down. You're Draven just for a couple more seconds. There's a... Yeah, they just decide to nuke down the Baron. It ends up just being a flip. Very fortunate that Shrimpfire is good with the smite here. Lava face checks this bush and gets one tapped. And then... Yeah, Lakai just never finds an angle. I'm surprised he's not walking forward here. Yeah, this is just shocking that Lakai is not walking forward here, and I want the camera to stay on this Kennen because I'm not really sure. By the way, Fido just gets a recall off there, and TP's back in. That's a nice heads-up play by him.
But
and
I think one shot.
I think Lakai maybe just flashes onto Lemus, or...
Oh, no. Oh,
Jesus, what a grief.
Shocking was it that he wasn't able to find an angle, but shocking was not his Kennen, who does try and use electricity.
Yeah, and Ground Zero now with the Baron. They do have to get some impact. 8,000 damage in that fight for Chi-Chi. They do have to get some impact out of this Baron to make it worthwhile relative to the soul they picked up.
Now, QSS available for Chi-Chi. It's going to make his life easier on that cleanse cooldown. There's also a Mercurial Scimitar. There's just so many cleanses. Lemus takes 2 auto attacks. A Whirling Death might even end him here as the culling comes through. Chi-Chi, he's going to have to get access to a wave to lifesteal, but he doesn't have it right now, and LOL-APAC just gets chunked for his entire health bar.
Yeah, can quickly go back to Fountain, and for now, J-Team hold on to all their tier 3s as recalls are started up by Ground Zero. I think they're giving up on the siege.
They walk away, 3.5k in their pocket from that Baron power play, but no objectives to show for it. It's mainly just off the back of that team fight. Now, they are going to have more team fights, of course, and this time, importantly, we'll have that exhaust. I think they had to pull back because there was no exhaust, and Lakai does still have that flash.
QSS picked up for Chi-Chi.
Yeah, and a Mercurial Scimitar, and a cleanse. There's no CC in this Draven.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough CC to justify all of this, but I mean, he is safe on the Draven.
No, there is literally a sleep and a snare. I guess you could include slows, but Rel cleanses are fraudulent.
Yeah, it's such a short CC on the Rel Q. Lemus sprinting at lava fearlessly with the cleanse.
Yeah, full build is Lemus. 4-1-8. He's having a really good performance on this Jhin.
Yeah, start to finish. Put his team in this position by playing that tower dive, outplaying that tower dive so well, and has had a essentially flawless game since.
And we are going to get another LCO versus PCS game with Elder Dragons, with multiple Barons. And at this stage of the game, I don't know who's going to win. Ground Zero, they've been ahead for a lot, but there's been some throwing. J-Team, they were probably ahead at one stage, and they threw.
Have a soul somehow. Here's an engage.
Yeah, Curtain Call coming out. Lava being looked at, but a fantastic stop there. The Arctic Assault was insane. Lava might pay for it, but he's just stopped everything the side of Ground Zero want to do. And Dan tries to find a flag, but he's getting taken out. He's going to go down. As there's a kill found by Lakai. He gets Zonya's out. No, he doesn't. The exhaust just kills him. Lemus is just going to shut him down. It's a 4v4 now. Importantly, no cleanse for Lemus. He is trying to find the damage from afar. Kurik has that Warmogs popping. There's no ultimates, only Minji with that Rocket Barrage, which doesn't really count. With, I mean, so much time. There's so much time left until these respawns, but Lakai has the teleport.
Yeah,
Tien does not.
He doesn't have the flash on the Kennen, though. Should have his ulti by the time this dragon is up. But J-Team can just start this dragon on spawn, and Thien has zero way to get here. Even if he had TP, he'd be too late to this play. And their Kennen is going to be up in time. Maybe Thien can run here in time.
Yeah, I think Tien can. There's a teleport now coming through from Fido. Minji looking for a recall. He realizes he is in a lot of trouble. He's just gone. Minji's just caught.
No way.
Wait, does he get out? He has the Air Dragon.
How
the
broken
Cloud
is his soul? Yeah.
The Cloud Soul actually gets him out.
And now Ground Zero do have position on the Elder Dragon, so J-Team are not going to be starting on spawn. Just want the honorable fight.
There's so many red wards littered in the jungle here of Ground Zero. They haven't cleared them out. Lakai with teleport. Minji's teleporting in from the flank here. Lalva, he's going to be able to get there. Watch Lakai. Lakai's on a flank. There's so many people down towards the south side. Lakai's found his way in. Lakai's found his way in. Lemus is going to flash. They do get out. What can be found, though? The turnaround. Lemus trying to find the damage. Enso flashing in, trying to keep that mid laner in Minji alive. Curtain Call's coming out. Fido finds one. The Curtain Call connects, but they're not able to get more. It's Chi-Chi. He's trying to do the damage. The Elder's going to go down. Or is it? Lakai is going to get killed. Chi-Chi's not going to get the Elder. It's going to be Schönfire. And J-Team will fall. Ground Zero will take game number 1.
Minji gets the wave, and he's running them around.
He's executed. The W, Lemus, from start to finish, ever the perfectionist. lands that final Deathly Flourish, and that will secure the game. I cannot believe what I've just witnessed.
Yeah, I think the difference in that fight came down to having flashes up on your carries. Fido and Lemus making sure they have their flashes up for the fight that ultimately decides the game. Lakai does not have his flash up. Ends up finding an amazing flank, but with the flashes up, Lava's up, but...
Well, Lava's respawned. There's no one else. It's only Lava. Enzo coming up soon, but what can he do? This will be the game.
Yeah, GG.
Ground zero. They've done it again. They started off their first series up against J-Team with a 1-0 lead. Now, they can get it done. They just need to find one game out of the next two, and they will progress to go up against Frank, to fight for our last position and our second stage of playoffs.
Yeah, and initially I said history repeats itself. Ground zero are just going to blow through this game through bot lane, but that was not a clean game by any means. Struggled to really find value out of this Aurora from Thean. I think it's still worth picking it just to not let Minji have it. But yeah, just not the right kind of comp, I think, maybe to follow up on this champion.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately it was enough to get that one across the line. It was shaky. That man on your screen there, Minji, did his absolute damnedest.
Yeah.
I think ultimately, you know, just time and time again, pushing the limits, trying to find his way